Hello everybody. Today we will study about real numbers. We will study about real numbers. So before going into real numbers, we will discuss about what are natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational and irrational numbers, which we already discussed in our lower classes. So first one is natural numbers. Natural numbers are denoted by capital N, and then the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to infinity are called as natural numbers. Next we have whole numbers. Whole numbers are denoted by capital W. If we include 0 to the natural numbers, then we get the set of whole numbers. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on up to infinity are called as whole numbers. Next we have integers. Integers are denoted by capital I. Integers are 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, and -1, -2, -3, so on up to infinity are called as integers. Next we have rational numbers. Rational numbers are denoted by Q. That is the numbers which are in the form of P by Q, where the denominator Q should not be equal to 0 and P comma Q belongs to set of integers are called as rational numbers. Next we have irrational numbers. Irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are denoted by Q dash. What are irrational numbers? Non-terminating, non-recurring decimals, non-terminating and non-recurring decimals, non-recurring decimals are called as irrational numbers. So the examples of irrational numbers are √2, √3, √5, √2, √3, √5 and so on. And also the irrational numbers are non-terminating and non-recurring decimals. That is, if you find the square root of √2, you will get 1.414, so on. And also if you find the square root of √3, you will get 1.732, so on. That is, it continues like that. It is not stopping at any point and it is not repeating. So such numbers are called as irrational numbers. Once again I will explain you what are natural numbers. Natural numbers are denoted by N. That is, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to infinity are called as natural numbers. Whole numbers are denoted by W. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are called as whole numbers. So if you observe, natural numbers are a part of whole numbers. And next, integers are 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinity, -1, -2, -3, so on up to infinity. Which means the natural numbers and whole numbers are a part of the integers. And also rational numbers. The numbers which are in the form of P by Q, where Q not equal to 0 and P comma Q belongs to set of integers are called as rational numbers. That is, all natural numbers, all whole numbers, all integers are also come under rational numbers. That is, the examples of this are, you can take it as 1 by 2, -5 by 7. Even you can take 0 is also a rational number. Because 0 you can write it as 0 by 5, which is nothing but 0 only. Or 0 by any number is 0. So whole numbers also come under rational numbers. Then even you can write -8. -8 is also a rational number, because -8 you can write it as -8 by 1. So minus 8 by 1 is also a rational numbers. So all natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are also rational numbers. And what are irrational numbers? Non-terminating and non-recurring decimals are called as irrational numbers. So what are real numbers? Real numbers are nothing but the combination, the union of rational numbers and irrational numbers together are called as real numbers. So what are real numbers? Real numbers are nothing but the union of rational and irrational numbers. The union of rational and irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are called as real numbers. If you put rational and irrational numbers together, then they are called as real numbers. Real numbers are denoted by capital R. This is about real numbers. I'll explain once again in detail. Natural numbers are denoted by N. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are called as natural numbers. Between 1 and 2, you can have many numbers like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 like that. And between 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 or between these two numbers also, there may be many numbers. But all that do not come under natural numbers. Only these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the counting numbers are called as natural numbers. If we include 0 to the natural numbers, then we get whole numbers. Whole numbers are denoted by 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Whole numbers are denoted by W. And then integers. Integers, here we get 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. And also minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, so on. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are called as positive integers. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, so on are called as negative integers. So here in integers, these negative numbers are also included. And 0 is neither positive nor negative. Next we have rational numbers. Rational numbers are the numbers which are in the form of P by Q. And Q should not be equal to 0. Why here Q should not be equal to 0? Division by 0 is not defined. So here Q should not be 0 and P and Q should be integers. P and Q can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 0 or minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 anything. Only Q should not be 0. So if you observe, natural numbers are a part of whole numbers. Natural numbers, whole numbers are part of integers. Natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are a part of rational numbers. The examples of rational numbers are 1 by 2. 1 is integer, 2 is also an integer. Also you can take minus 3 by 8. Minus 3 is a negative integer, 8 is an integer. Also you can take 0 is also a rational number because 0 can be written as 0 by any number you can write. Suppose you are writing 7. 0 by 7 is how much? 0. 0 by any number is 0 only. So 0 is also a rational number. Similarly, you can take 2 or 7 or 5, any number. 2 is also a rational number because 2 can be written as 2 by 1. Like this, all the natural numbers, whole numbers, integers also part of rational numbers. Now next, we have irrational numbers. I want to explain about this irrational numbers in detail. So irrational numbers are non-terminating and non-recurring decimals. Irrational numbers. For example, if I take 1 by 2, how much is 1 divided by 2? If I divide 1 by 2, I'll put a point 0, 2 5s are 10. So if I want to write 1 by 2 in decimal form, I will get 0.5. So here it is 0.5. It is stopping here. So this is called as terminating decimal. This is called as terminating decimal. Now if I take 1 by 3. 1 by 3 how I can write in decimal form? 1 divided by 3, 0.0, 3 3s are 9. Here you will get 1, 0.0, 3 3s are 9, 1 again 0, 3 3s are 9, 1. So it continues like this. So we will get 0.333. It continues like this till infinity. So it is called as non-terminating decimal. This is called as non-terminating decimal, and also this 3 is repeating. Only this 3 will be repeated. So it is called as non-terminating repeating decimal. Non-terminating repeating decimal. Now suppose if I take the example of root 2. How much is root 2 value? 1.414, so on. It continues like this. So here this is non-terminating and non-repeating. This is non-repeating. The same number will not be repeated. The same digits will not be repeated. So the non-terminating, non-repeating decimals are called as irrational numbers. Okay. So these two, these terminating decimals and non-terminating and repeating decimals, these two come under rational numbers only. Only the non-terminating, non-repeating decimals are called as irrational numbers. And one more thing is 22/7. This is the pi value. Though it is in p/q form, this is a special case because its value is also non-terminating and non-repeating. So this is also a irrational number. This is also a irrational number. So these numbers, the terminating decimals and non-terminating repeating decimals, these come under rational numbers. Only the non-terminating, non-repeating decimals are called as irrational numbers. So till now we discussed about rational, irrational numbers. Now we will see what are real numbers. Rational and irrational numbers put together are called as real numbers. If you have real numbers, if you write the rational and irrational numbers together, I said you rational numbers are denoted by Q, irrational numbers are denoted by Q dash. So rational and irrational numbers together form real numbers. And then we have the set of natural numbers. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So then if you include 0 to this one, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, then we get the set of whole numbers. Natural numbers are the elements present here, and if they include 0, that is the elements inside this one, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are set of whole numbers. So here if you observe, natural numbers are a part of whole numbers. That is, natural numbers is a subset of whole numbers. Now next, integers. Integers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and -1, -2, -3. Negative numbers are also included. So these form set of integers. That is the elements present inside this one. Then now next we get the set of rational numbers. Q. That is the numbers 1/2, 5/7, -5/9 or anything which are in the form of p/q, where p, q are integers, are called as rational numbers. That is, rational numbers means you will get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3 and also the fractions. But here this is rational numbers. But in the rational numbers, the irrational numbers are not included. Irrational numbers and rational numbers together form the set of real numbers. So if you represent the real numbers on the number line, so this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, so on. This is -1, -2, so on. We'll get like this. So the set of positive integers 1, 2, 3, so on are called as natural numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, so on are called as whole numbers. If you include negative integers, positive integers and 0, then we get set of the integers and also the numbers between them, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Okay, so in between them you can have 1.5. So in this we have rational numbers also. Then what is the value of root 2? Root is 1.414. 1.414 means somewhere here. So here on the number line we have irrational numbers also. So rational and irrational numbers put together are called as real numbers, and real numbers are denoted by capital R. This is about real numbers. So next we will discuss about division algorithm. Division algorithm. Now, for example, if you have 5/2, if you have 5/2, How do you write this 5 by 2? This 5 is divided by 2. So what do you get? 2 2s are 4. This is 1. We know that this 1 is called as remainder. And then this 2 here is called as quotient. Then this is called as dividend. This is called as divisor. So we know that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. That is, how do you get this 5? 5 you will get, to take 2 here, multiply this with the quotient and then plus the remainder. So this is nothing but, this is example of what is division algorithm. Division algorithm is, if A and B are any two positive integers, if A and B are any two positive integers, then there exists a unique pair of positive integers Q and R, such that, this is the symbol of such that A is equal to, that is, if you are dividing A by B, then here you will get Q, the remainder is R. How do you get A? If you multiply B with Q, B into Q plus R. This is what is division algorithm. If A and B are any two positive integers, then we will get a unique pair of positive integers Q and R such that A is equal to BQ plus R. So by looking at this example, you can clearly understand. Similarly, you can divide 7 by 3. So 7, if I divide by 3, what I'll get? 3 2s are 6. 1 is the remainder. How do you get the 7 here? 3 multiplied this quotient plus 1. 3 2s are 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is division algorithm. We will discuss about HCF, that is highest common factor. Highest common factor. So in our lower classes already we studied how to find the factors for the given numbers. Now suppose you have 2 and 4. What are the factors of 2? 2 you can write it as 1 into 2 or 2 into 1. You cannot write 2 as a product of any other two numbers. So here the factors of 2 are 1 and 2. Now similarly, if I take 4, 4 can be written as 1 into 4 or 4 into 1 or 2 into 2. So what are the factors of 4? 1, 2 and 4. Now what are the common factors for 2 and 4? 1 is there in both 2 and 4 and 2 is also there. So the common factors of 2 and 4 are 1 and 2. So the common factors of 2 and 4 are 1 and 2. What is the highest one? 2. 2 is the highest common factor. So the HCF of 2 and 4 is 2. So similarly, we can find the highest common factors for, suppose say 9 and 12. 9 and 12. What are the factors of 9? 1 into 9. So you can write 1, 9. 3 into 3 you can write. So 3. And then can you write 9 as a product of any other two numbers? No. So the factors are 1, 3 and 9. I'll write it in an order. That is, the factors are 1, 3, 9. Now let us try to find out what are the factors of 12. What are the factors of 12? 1 into 12 I can write. 2 into 6 I can write. So 2, 6. 4 into 3 I can write. So 4 and 3. 3 and 4. And 12 into 1. So what are the factors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. Now what are the common factors if you observe? 1, 3 and 9. 1, 3 and 9 are the common factors. So what is the highest common factor? 9. So the HCF of, so the common factors are What are the common factor? 1 and also 3. So what is the highest common factor of? Highest common factor is 3. The highest common factor is 3. So this one, now here the examples what I am taking are very small, 9, 12 like that. Now suppose if I want to find the highest common factor of 72 and 128, then it will be, suppose I want to find the highest common factor of 72 and 128. Then I have to write all the factors of 72, all the factors of 128, then list out the common factors between these two, and then I have to write the highest common factor. So for finding the highest common factor, there is a method, that is, now here 2 and 4. So what I have to do here, to find the common factors of 2 and 4, 2 and 4, divide it. 2 2s are 4, 0. So here the remainder is 0. So here the common factor is 2. The HCF is 2. Now even if you are doing by finding the factors also, we got the HCF is 2. Similarly, if you want to find the HCF of 9 and 12, that is 9 divided by 12. 9 1 is 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. Now I have to divide 12 minus 9 is 3. Now here I did not get the remainder 0. I have to repeat this till I get the remainder 0. Again I have to divide this by whatever I have here, the divisor, 9. Then 3 3s are 9, 0. I got the remainder 0. So this is called as the highest common factor. Even if you are finding it by writing all the common factors, you are getting the highest HCF is 3. So in this way we can find the highest common factor. So next we have Euclid's algorithm. Euclid's algorithm or the division algorithm, they are very closely interlinked, that the Euclid's algorithm is also called as division algorithm. Euclid's algorithm or division algorithm, both means the same only. Okay, so Euclid's algorithm is a technique which is used to compute the highest common factor of any two numbers. Euclid's algorithm is a technique to compute the HCF of any two numbers. Okay, so let us do one problem. Find HCF of 900 and 270 by Euclid's algorithm method. So here you have to divide this 900 by 270. So check it, how many times it goes? 270 into 3. 3 zeros are 0. 3 sevens are 21. 3 twos are 6, 7, 8. 810. So 270 into 3 is 810. Subtract it, we'll get 90. Subtract it, we'll get 90. So now here the remainder is not 0. So again we have to divide this 270 by 90. So 9 3s is 27. So 90 into 3 is 270. So here you are getting the remainder as 0. So this 90 is the highest common factor. So how to write it is, when we divide 900 by 270, we get remainder as 90. So by division algorithm, we get, how do you write? Now you think only till here. You can write 900 as 270 into 3. If you have only till here, 900 can be written as product of 270 into 3 plus 90. The remainder 90. So here remainder is not 0. So here remainder is not 0. So again divide 270 by 90. Then by division algorithm, we get what we can write? This 270, we can write it as product of 90 into 3 plus 0. 90 into 3 plus 0. 90 into 3 plus 0. So here the remainder is 0. So here remainder is 0. So this 90 becomes a HCF. So you can write the HCF of, so you can write the HCF of 900 and 270 is 90.